What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, and I'm just checking in on you. What's going on? How's it going? Now today is October the 15th, and this is going to be your weekly vendor reset and must-buys. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But we'll start off here in Washington, D.C., and then we will finish up in New York City. Our first vendor is going to be the Base of Ops vendor. Here we go. And starting off at the top, we have the Cold Relations. This is the named PP19 with Perfect Strained. Now remember, this weapon is getting a big buff come next update. So you could pick this one up, change the magazine size to damage to targets at a cover, and you're good to go. Just optimize the SMG and crit chance. Following that, we have a Tommy gun with stability and preservation, an ACR with swap speed and stabilize, and then finally a card 45 with swap speed and optimist. Looking at the gear items, we have a Richter and Kaiser backpack with protector, skill haste, and status effects, and finally a Walker. Ooh, hold on. So this Walker and Harris chest piece is pretty good. I am a big fan of Glass Cannon. Glass Cannon is very strong for not only DPS builds, skill builds, but also some hybrid builds if you're nasty. Now this one, all you have to do is change the weapon handling to crit chance. You would have a double crit Walker Harris chest piece with Glass Cannon. Now remember, Glass Cannon amplifies all the damage you deal by 25%. That's super strong. Now yes, you do take some more incoming damage, but hey, come on, let's be real. Now looking at the mods, we have Headshot 7.3, Drone plus 2 extra bombs, turret duration, and then sticky bomb burn duration. Now as far as must-buys, things to look for from the Base of Ops, the Cold Relations is a good one to pick up because of that big buff coming soon, and then the Walker and Harris, just make it a double crit. And that is it for the Base of Ops vendor. Let's jump over here to the Countdown vendor, and then finally the Clan vendor. Now remember, the Countdown and Clan vendors are also in New York City, but I'm going to go ahead and show them right now. Here we go, Countdown. So for your Countdown vendor, ooh, TDI card custom. This is a big one. A lot of people ask about this weapon, and it comes with InSync. Oh man, this one's perfect. Pick this one up right now, TDI card custom. This is a PvP exclusive named item, but it was also showed in a previous season, so you can get this from a season legacy cache. But this one in particular, it's for skill builds, right? Whenever you have this in your hands, you get the +1 skill tier. So when you're using it, you would also get InSync, which could get your skill damage up to 30% more by shooting them with your weapon and your skill at the same time. This is super strong. What I would do is just max out the pistol damage, and that's it. You're good. I mean, truly, this is a really good pistol. I'm pretty sure I have one on me with InSync. Let me see here. Yeah, right here. I have the exact same weapon right here, InSync. All you have to do is max out the pistol. That's crazy. So pick that one up from the Countdown vendor. That is a must-buy. The next one is the Setup. The Setup is the named Uzina Getica backpack with Perfectly Opportunistic, and this one with armor regeneration and explosive resistance. And then finally we have the Thorn. This is the named Shoddy with a Perfect Brazen for that talent, and this is getting a big buff in the next update as well. So pick this one up. This is going to be a really good shotgun next update. I'm telling you, all you need to do is change the headshot damage off or damage to targets at a cover, and you're good to go. So 2 out of these 3 are must-buys, being the TDI card custom and the Thorn. All right, now let's run over to the Clan vendor. Now, while I'm running over here, big shout out to the DoD Disciples of Doom, and thank you all so much for the ongoing support. Thank you a million times. Thank you. It has been breathtaking, the amounts of love and support you guys have been throwing at me, and I do appreciate it from me and my family to you. Thank you. Now, to join DoD Disciples of Doom, we are on all platforms. We're on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. To get into our clan, you have to go to my Discord server. that's connected to my YouTube channel. All you have to do is go to my About Me, and the very first link will be my Discord. Go over there, and there are multiple tabs for all the different platforms, and then you can sign up. And then whenever I have open slots, I will send out a mass message to everybody, and then first come, first serve, and then we fill up the clan that way. So again, if you're interested in joining the DoD Disciples of Doom, just go over to my Discord and put your name on the list. Now, speaking of clans, here is your clan vendor.
Nice to see you, Agent.
Now, starting off at the top, we have the Anarchist Cookbook. This is the named Golden Gear backpack with Perfectly Wicked. Now, this one comes with crit damage and health. Now, what I would do easily, pick this one up. It is another must-buy. And make it double crit. Just change the health off for crit chance and you're good to go. Now, yes, the armor is pretty low, so you're going to have to optimize it. But it is worth it. Perfectly Wicked is a lot of fun. You could get Perfectly Wicked to proc even just with a Jammer Pulse. It's super fun, super easy, and then you get to enjoy all of that extra weapon damage. For the gear set items, we have a Ortiz pair of gloves with repair skills. Tip of the Spear holster with crit chance. That one's not bad, actually. The weapon damage is high enough to where you could just max out the crit chance or change it to whatever you want. You'd be good to go. And then finally, well, there you go. You have a maxed out Tip of the Spear mask. And then all you have to do is change the explosive resistance off for whatever it is you want, and that's God rolled. You'd have everything maxed out. Pretty cool. Now, going through the high-end items, we have another Thorn. Now, remember, this shotgun is getting a big buff next update. So if you do not have this one, you can either pick it up here at the clan vendor or go over to the countdown vendor and get it there as well. But this one, max swap speed and perfect brazen for the talent. Going down the list, we have a MG5 with crit hit damage and flatline, a Richter and Kaiser backpack with opportunistic headshot and armor regen, a 93R with headshot and vindictive, followed by Providence gloves. Well, you can make this one double crit. So easily just change the repair skills off for crit hit damage, and then you have double crit gloves right here. All you would have to do is optimize the crit chance and weapon damage. Moving on, we have a Uzina mask with armor regen, explosive resistance, and then finally a Badger Tough backpack with vigilance, headshot, and status effects. Looking at the mods, we have headshot 7.7, disorient resistance 8.9, crit chance 4.8, and shield deflector damage 4.4. Now, must-buys, things to look for from the clan vendor. The Anarchist Cookbook's a good one. Tip of the Spear, just because it has a maxed core attribute, so you can make that one God rolled. The Thorn, remember it's getting a big buff, but I'd get the one from the countdown vendor myself. The Providence gloves, you can make double crit, and really that's about it.
I'm happy that worked.
All right. So we are now done with the base of ops completely, so now let's go west, and then we will double back east. Our first stop is going to be the campus settlement. Here we go. Now, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up, support the channel by subscribing, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. And finally, shout out where you're from. It is always cool to see where everyone's from. But here is your campus vendor. And starting with the new reliable, this is the named RPK with perfectly optimized, and this one's swap speed. It's okay, but the other attributes are very, very high. So what I would do is just change the swap speed off for damage to armor, and then you're good to go. The LMG and the damage to targets out of cover will only take a few optimizations to max out, so it'd be fairly easy to have this thing God rolled within a few minutes. Moving on, we have a M700 Carbon, with determined and crit chance. You could change the crit chance over to damage to targets out of cover, and then you're good to go. Determined and snipers are like a must. It's like a must try. Everyone needs to try the sniper with determined at least once just to see if they like it, because it is so OP. It's ridiculous. The devs have been asked time and time again if they're ever going to nerf it, and they said no. So using determined on a sniper with something like Headhunter is like a gimme. It's a mulligan. It's a freebie. Like all you do is just headshot, 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 headshot. It's pretty nice. I'm not the biggest sniper fan in this game, but I will admit it's super strong and I highly recommend. And finally, for the weapons, we have a M249 Bravo with close and personal and swap speed. Looking at the gear items, we have a Empress Mask with repair skills, explosive resistance, and Uzina holster with health and armor regeneration. Looking at the mods, we have skill duration 8.5, Chem launcher duration 4.2, Hive +4 stinger charges, pulse cone size 6.4, and trap shock radius of 5.7. Now, must buys, things to look for from the campus. The new reliable is very strong. You could easily just change the swap speed to damage to armor. And then the sniper with determined is always a good option. All right, so we are done with the campus. Now let's hit up our Dark Zone vendors, starting with Dark Zone West. West! Let's go. And just a reminder for these Dark Zone vendors, they only take DZ resources for currency. So you have to go into your resources tab, go all the way down to your keys, and just above your keys, you will see your Dark Zone resources. Now, the Dark Zone resources can only be obtained in the Dark Zone. The only ways to do it is to either pick up the little blue boxes that are scattered amongst the Dark Zone. Those will go straight into your inventory, or you have to pick up contaminated items, deconstruct them into Dark Zone resources, and then extract them. Either way, you will be able to get Dark Zone resources like that, and you can see right here I'm at 667 out of 999. Now, with that being said, let's hit up the Dark Zone vendors and see what we get. Starting with Dark Zone West. Oh, and starting with the Deathgrips with armor regeneration. Very nice. The Deathgrips are PvP exclusives. You can only get them in the Dark Zone or in Conflict, but if you're lucky, you can get it from a named item cache. But this is the easiest way right here. DZ West, come pick it up, buy it right now. Armor regeneration to where all you have to do is max out that armor and you're good to go, because then you get armor regeneration for your survivability and you get armor on kill for survivability. And then the one piece of 511 will also give you 30% health, which also goes into your survivability. So it's a pretty good pair of gloves. Highly recommend. Try it out. Moving on, we have a double barrel shotty with headshot and killer, and then a SIG 716 with magazine size and future perfect. Looking at the gear items, we have a hot shot pair of gloves with skill haste, True Patriot knee pads with skill damage, Habsburg Guard gloves with status and weapon handling, and then finally Hanayu knee pads with crit hit damage and explosive resistance. Looking at the mods, we have protection from elites 11%, Seeker Mind +1 cluster, shield damage bonus 1%, Firefly speed 8.1, and decoy health of 6.0. Now, must buys, things to look for from DZ West. The Deathgrips. Definitely pick those up. PvP exclusive named items all day. Pick them up. Now, with that being said, let's take our talents down south to the deep south. DZ South. Here we go. We're going down south, boy. Woo-ah! The deep south. All right, here we go. DZ South vendor. And starting with the Glory Days. This is the named P416 with perfect nearsighted. This thing is a laser beam when it comes to ARs. Now this one, pretty low attributes to be honest, and it has magazine size. I really wouldn't recommend this one, but it's here if you want it. Moving on, we have a tactical UMP with optimal range and breadbasket, a TKB 408 with max AR damage, crit hit damage, and reformation. And then finally for the weapons, we have a Snubnose Diceros with armor damage and killer. Looking at the gear items, we have a Breaking Point backpack with armor regeneration, Heartbreaker chest piece with hazard, very nice. Heartbreaker and hazard is like a meta all in its own. You will never die. Heartbreaker, armor, and hazard protection. Oof. I'm telling you right now, super, super strong. After that, we have a Uzina backpack with concussion health and armor regeneration. And finally, a Overlord chest piece with crit chance, repair skills, and protected reload. Looking at the mods, we have crit chance 4.3, drone deflect duration 6.2, turret skill haste 5.7, and sticky bomb burn duration 4.0. Now, must buys things to look for from DZ South, not really. None of these are really must buys, in my opinion. I wouldn't want you to waste your DZ resources because I know they are hard to come by. So, with that being said, we're not going to go to DZ East yet. We need to make a pit stop to the castle settlement. Now, remember, fast travel to the descent entrance. That way you can run up the stairs right here and pet the doggy. Say hi, Ransom. Hey, Ransom. Arr, arr, arr. What up? Oop. And Ransom's out. All right, all right. Hope you're having a good day there, Ransom. Look at that, my little companion. But all right, so here we are at the castle settlement. And we have the Night Watcher. This is the named Heligard mask with Scanner Pulse Haste as an attribute. And this one with Hazard. Not bad. Moving on, we have a SRS A1 with crit chance and ranger, a military M60 with reload speed and perpetuation, Alps mask with repair skills and ooh, that's actually really strong. The repair skills and skill haste on the Alps mask is really good for healer builds. Pick this one up if you like to be a healer at all. This is a really good mask, I'm telling you. And then finally, for the gear items, we have a 511 holster with armor regeneration and explosive resistance. Looking at the mods, we have repair skills 15.8, chem launcher burn strength 6.3, hive range 4.0, pulse cone size 6.3, and trap duration 4.2. Now, must buys things to look for from the castle settlement. I would say the Alps mask would be the way to go. But all right. So that is it for the castle settlement. Now let's finish up with our Dark Zone vendors. And that is ending with DZ East. Now the DZ East vendor, you want to go to the Alpha checkpoint, not the main entrance. And then that way you can just exit the checkpoint and not run all the way through the courtyard. So you go to the Alpha checkpoint and then just exit right here, and the vendor should be right here to your left. Boom. That way you don't have to run all the way through the courtyard from the main entrance. Now here we are, Dark Zone East. Starting with the Good Times. This is another PvP exclusive item. The Good Times. This is a named M60, and it has perfect fast hands. So however many crits you hit, it will increase your reload speed. And this thing will increase your reload speed by 320%. So this thing goes from like reloading like a freaking, I don't know, like a locomotive, and then all of a sudden it turns into like a race car, Formula One style. You go from a reload speed of 5 seconds, and then it'll turn it all the way down to like 1 point something seconds. It's ridiculous. The Good Times is such a great weapon. The only thing about it is the crits, you have to build it up for the reload, so you're not going to get it just right out the gate having fun, but at the same time, you're not really getting a big damage buff, so I don't know. It's really fun to use. However, they did nerf the M60 in year one, and ever since then, I just really haven't touched it, but I will admit this is a really fun weapon to use. Now, the attributes, damage to targets at a cover and damage to armor, are both very strong for this weapon. So again, try it out. It is a lot of fun. I'm telling you, you just have to build up those stacks. But once you get them, this thing is ridiculously fun. It's like the Bullet King, but better. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Moving on, we have a covert SRS with swap speed and ranger. And then finally, a military L86 with health damage and in sync. Looking at the gear items, we have a Hunter's Fury mask with armor regen. That's good. Just switch the weapon damage over to armor. That would be really good. Breaking Point holster with hazard. Uzina mask with hazard and status effects. And finally, Sokolov Concern holster with headshot and health. Looking at the mods, we have Skill Haste 10.0, Chem Launcher Skill Haste, 5.7. Hive +4 repair charges. Pulse Radius, 8.7. And Trap Duration of 4.3. Now, must-buys, things to look for from DZ East. The Good Times is a good pickup. I think I talked about that one a little too much. And that's it. All right, not bad. So now we are done with our Dark Zone vendors. Now let's go to our last stop in Washington, D.C., the theater. The theater. We are going to the theater. All right, so here we go. And hopefully we get some goodies right here before we go to New York. Big money, no whammies. And starting with the stage left, this is the named rifle with perfect sledgehammer. And this one with max armor damage. That's nice. Like, the rifle damage is ridiculously low, but just max it out. Just recalibrate the rifle damage to max, and look at this thing. I mean, one optimization to the crit hit damage will max that out. So this one's pretty much good to go. Remember, perfect sledgehammer. This will work for everybody on your team, even after the next update. And a lot of people like to use this one over the lefty, because you can still do some pretty damn good damage with this weapon. Just remember to throw that grenade to get that proc. Moving on, we have a custom M870 with magazine size and pumped up, and then a Resolute MK47 with crit chance and determined. Now, this weapon will be fully auto next update, and it is a lot of fun to use. I just wouldn't use it with determined. Anyways. Moving on with the gear talents, the gear items, we have a Araldi pair of gloves with skill damage and explosive resistance, and then China Light knee pads with status and repair skills. Looking at the mods, we have Pulse Resistance 8.2, Seeker Mind Skill Haste 5.0, Shield Deflector Damage 4.2, Firefly Speed 7.9, and Decoy Health of 6.0. Now, must-buys, things to look for from the theater. The stage left is a good one, and really that's about it. All right, let's move on to New York City. Here we go. And we have two more vendors. So we have Marco here at the top of the escalator, and then we have Roy Benitez right outside. So here we go, Marco.
Hey there. You got
So Marco has the PP19 with health, damage, and eyeless. Okay. Following that, we have a military MK46 with crit hit damage and perpetuation. M1A CQB with damage to armor and lucky shot. Now that damage to armor is really nice. Now remember, the M1A CQB will also be fully auto next update. So you could pick this one up, just change the talent to whatever it is you want. I would probably recommend Flatline for the amplified damage, but that damage to armor is looking hella nice, especially with that next update, I'm telling you. And finally, for the weapons, we have a M1911 with swap speed and future perfect.
You want to buy? I want
Looking
to sell.
at the gear
Come
items,
check
we
out
have
my
a
stock.
Heligard backpack with hazard, skill damage, and shock and awe. Uzina gloves with repair skills and hazard. And then finally, Bellstone Armory holster with headshot and status effects. Looking at the mods, we have skill duration 8.4, crit hit damage 9.9, turret skill haste of 5.9, pulse cone size 6.3, and trap duration of 5.9. Now, must buy things to look for from Marco. I mean, the M1A CQB is probably your best bet from this vendor. Everything else is, it's okay. And finally, let's go to our last vendor of the video, Roy Benitez. But wait, you got to pet the dog. What up, buddy? You have to pet the dog twice. Remember, the first interaction, you're just petting him. Nothing crazy. But the second interaction is random. He could roll over. He could try to pet you. He could just bark at you. Who knows? Let's see what happens here. All right, second interaction, and... Oh, he's trying to shake our hand. Aw, how cute. All right, here we go. And finally, Roy Benitez. Starting with the Cabaret. This is the named SMG with perfect Thunderstrike, and this one damage to targets at a cover. Not bad. This weapon is getting a little buff next update, so you could easily just max out these attributes and be good to go. I mean, it's not bad. I'm not the biggest fan of Perfect Thunderstrike, but I will admit that the change that they made to it after 3 kills will apply a shock. That makes it deadly because they are also buffing this talent next update to 30% amplified. So it's going to be pretty deadly. Watch out for those status effects. Moving on, we have a Model 700 with max headshot, crit hit damage, and fast hands. A double barrel sawed off with swap speed and in sync, and then a 93R with armor damage and determined. Looking at the gear items, we have a Overlord chest with max crit chance, armor regeneration, and focus. Group O knee pads with weapon handling and repair skills. And finally, 511 mask with skill haste and explosive resistance. Looking at the mods, we have bleed resistance 8.2, skill duration 8.5, seeker mine damage 4.1, Firefly +1 max target, and Sticky Bomb damage 6.5. Now, must buys, things to look for from Roy Benitez. I mean, the Cabaret's not bad. That one's not bad. But really, that's about it. All right, let's get out of here. So we had quite a few PvP exclusive items in today's reset. Those were all very good. But overall, I would say the vendors have been meh. They've been okay. I think everyone likes to say mid. So today's vendor was mid. It was okay. We had some goodies, but we had a lot of lemons. But like they say, when you get lemons, you make some lemonade, right? All right. So that is it for your weekly vendor reset for today, October the 15th. I am Kamikazevondoom. If you found this video helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But that's it. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.